Good morning. It says it hasn't started. It's been my experience that it starts before. It starts before it says it is. Mm, Such a beautiful day again in Southwest Florida. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. Am I really here? Really not. Really not. And I know that's a stretch for that mind, but we're really not here. As bodies, I should say. So much. God, I don't even know where to begin. I said that I was going to talk about Michelle Ledbetter, who has had a near death experience that I love her. Everything she writes is exactly what I write. It's the same thing. And um, this morning she wrote about what's seemingly going on in this world. So, our ego minds, who we believe ourselves to be, gosh, I want to get this clear. These bodies and minds are not who we are. We are, for lack of a better word, spirit. Whatever is moving, whatever makes creativity come out of these fingers, whatever makes those crickets or the birds sing, whatever makes words coming out of it, that's part of the happening here. We are in, or we seemingly are in a 3D world. Why I say seemingly is because a baby does not know there's a world. And are we condemning them because they're not having an issue with what's going on in the world? Seemingly going on in the world? No, we're not. We are loving them because they love us without judgment. Okay, so it's not that because they are loving us, they are reflecting the love that we are. But the love that we are, we are taught that we find love in relationships or in an animal or in something. That's not what love is. The world is literally our imagination. What are you imagining? What are you imagining? Look at it. If you are imagining a world of fear and hate and discontent, you're believing in this 3D world and you're going to judge others for doing it wrong. Period. And when you judge another person, anyone, anyone, for doing it wrong, you're judging you. You are judging you. Everything. That near death experience, one of the guys that I watched a couple weeks ago, I think I might have talked about it on a recent live, when he was on the other side, when the veil had dropped and he knew was coming from spirit, he was condemning himself because he was very angry most of his life, which most ego minds believe they're a victim of life. Everyone is doing this to me. Life is doing this to me. Life sucks. Saw somebody say, a friend of mine I graduated with high school, he said, life sucks. If you look at it as it sucks, yeah, it's going to suck. But you don't have to look at it. If you are open minded enough to get this message, you don't have to look at it as it sucks. If something comes up and your mind says, I don't want that, no, resistance, right there is your holy moment when you can say, wait a minute, life is not happening to me, it's happening for me. If you can start with just that, that helped me tremendously when I went to Byron Katie School. It's happening for me, not to me. Why is this thing getting dark and light? Um, there's that ego arguing with what is. It's got to fight what is. It finds dislike and like, pleasure and pain. And each time we find pain in something, it is in our bodies. That pain, that energy of pain or is stuck in our bodies. That's why when you breathe, my girlfriend Judy just wrote a book about this, about breathing, about coming back to it, exactly how to do this. In this world, it seems like we are being done in reality. But in this world we all believe in, it seems like we are the doer, and we're not. That's why I kind of stay away from things that say what to do. But I'm always saying, breathe. It's the simplest thing. Come back to now, which is all that's real. Anything else is imagination. Literally, the timeline isn't real of a me being born and dying. How uncomfortable that feels. When we believe we are a body, we hurt because the mind realizes it's separate. The mind thinks it's separate from God, love, life. This beautiful plant. Check this out. Look at that. I've shown it before, but my God, it is full of buds everywhere. And it seems like they don't die. Those flowers have been out for over a month now, and there's more and more shoots and more. It's a happy, happy plant. Oh, Jimmy! Cynthia, good morning, Cynthia. A Sunday treat. I always love that you do this. I could never attempt this. My brain would short circuit. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not coming from my brain. It's coming from whatever's growing that plant, whatever's making this finger point. It's coming from the nothingness that we are, but our ego minds don't. It's petrified of even entertaining the thought that we are nothing. We are literally nothing. We have separated from life, God. We think we have the one thought of the me. I am Lori. I am blah, 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 blah. That is not defining you, because anything that you use in this life to define you, it's going. Body's going, the If you identify with the car you drive, that's not going to last. If you identify with anything in this world, it is not going to last. So when it's gone, then what are you? Hmm. That's a really good question to ask. What are you? Who are you? What are you? Ask. Ask. And if it comes up with anything worldly, it's coming from the mind. Because nothing in this world is actually real, including the body. I remember going through this before saying I'm not going there, but apparently I'm going there. Well, okay, so I'm going to talk about. I have been listening to, a friend of mine sent me a video of this woman being interviewed, and everything she said was spot on, but she talked about the telepathy tapes, which are free on YouTube, and I just finished them. Mind blowing. It's all about autistic kids and how they, because they can't talk, they we they have now found that they can spell and spell beautifully, I might add, like at college level without even going to college. They because people have killed autistic people, or retarded people is what they label them. This one series will change your it will shake you to the core. I'll post it underneath this after I'm done. I'll post the first one. You can, if you're interested, if you're open minded enough. If you've been listening to me and in the past year and a half for any length of time, you're open minded. You are not closed minded if you can sit through one of these videos. Just one. If you sit through the whole thing, you are definitely not a closed minded person. And as that mind opens, so does the heart. Then you realize you are not separate from that bird. You're not separate from the plant. You're not separate from the grass, anything. That's seamless. We only see all of this because it's being projected from our mind. This cup is not really a cup. And I know how ridiculous that sounds. Just know that I know it sounds ridiculous, but there's something inside of you that knows this. And these kids, now that they can type, and one of them, one of the interview is singing beautiful, perfect pitch. He's never been to a singing lesson in his life. He is connected to because there's no language. They're literally just being, and they are connected to the all that is. When I first had my awakening back in 1998, not 20, 1998, I I remember being in the shower, and the thoughts were coming up, and seeing fear of the future, but there was automatic seeing through them. There was no attachment to them. They were just going, coming and going, coming. There was no me that was attached to anything. It was just pure love. The energy was coming out of me. Like the energy, I have always had energy. I've never had to have an energy drink or coffee or anything. I ask people when we go places and they're like, "Hey, you want coffee?" I'm like, "Do you think I need it?" And they're all like, "Nope, nope, we don't need you on coffee." But the energy, people think they need coffee to give them energy. It's not true. It's a thought. I need something to give me energy. All the thoughts that we believe in, They are heavy. It's heavy in the body. So when you have, like, if you hold resentment for anybody, just think of one person in your life that you hold resentment for. They did this to me. I'm a victim of them. Just one. That feel it in your body. It feels heavy. Then multiply it by the ones that you've banished from your life. You think or you've judged as stupid or an idiot or whatever. All of that is weighing you down, concretizing you as a person in this world. But as Jesus said, you can be in the world, but not of it. And as that veil lightens, you come back to the love that you are. You don't need anything. I'm even questioning eating right now because I've been eating and then immediately full, but I keep eating. Whoop, immediately full. I'm not actually even hungry, I don't think, when I go to eat. But it's so routine, I thought I have to eat. I'm just playing with it. Now, yesterday, my girlfriend and I had the deepest, best freaking talk through she lives two doors down, and we had this most amazing thought about our beliefs and how life, and I said life is going by how we believe it to be going. And at we sold our vein, and we have everything under a trust, and that's, in reality, it seems like it's screwed. In reality, in this realm, it seems like it's screwed us because we've had to do other, we actually, to sell the bus, the RV we used to have, we had to fly to Florida for a weekend to get the trust paperwork to sell it up in Maine, go back to Maine. But now that we see, now that in hindsight, we had to come down here because we saw that at that point our lanai was intact, and then we came back a week later with the U-Haul with all our stuff. And our lanai had been torn apart. Nobody. Anyway, so that had another trajectory of life that was a beautiful unfolding as I see it now. It seemed back then like it was, well, it was to Peter, but I literally, nobody could get through. The guy broke his hip, the guy that was going to do it. So they weren't doing anything about it. And I didn't say anything. Peter was yelling at them. Oh my God, just like, oh my gosh, okay, keep this straight. Because it's just firing up other things. Um, when you yell at somebody and come at them with force, what's going to come back is is going to come back ego. Your mind is looking for a fight. So when I didn't fight, I, like Peter did, repeatedly at the company that we had, and I called the guy when it was becoming time that we could actually come out here, because in the summer we don't come out here. So I'm like, what the fuck? It'll get done. So when it came time, like November, it was time to come back out on the lanai. I just called him up and I said, Mark, we I've been pretty patient and I've not had, said anything about. I said, but I think if your lanai was torn apart since June, is it June? It was in the summer. I said, and you were coming into the best part of the year and you have a company coming and so forth. I think you'd want something done. So they just approved our guy that did all the landscaping, which they've gotten rid of, who knew this place. So anyway, he put it back together beautifully. He just simple in a day, in one day, put it back together. Everything. Anyway, but okay, I want to tell the story about this story. In this dream, my way back when my dad was at his trailer, there was a neighbor that was living next. His name was Bill, and he wanted to. His life was falling apart. He was on drugs, blah blah blah, and he lost his trailer. So my dad was very nice. He let him use his car, let him blah blah. This guy did. My dad let him do anything. He liked him. So, well, I say he liked him, but he bitched about him a lot because he would take his car and not come back for a long time. And Dad used to get up early to go get the papers in the morning, and this guy wouldn't come back. So he was bitching about him a lot. So, and the owner of the park, Skip Scarponi, um, did not like this guy, this Bill guy, and um, so Kevin and Peter, they thought, Scarponi said, "You're going to lose this. We're going to kick you out of this park." And at that point, Dad wasn't working. Mom was gone. Basically everything in his life was pretty much taken from him, and except for Bill. And Bill would have people over, and they would party and he was taking money from Dad too. But Dad's wallet was out with all the money. I mean, whatever. So Kevin, my brother-in-law, and Peter went to the trailer one night and told this guy the way it was. He needed to get the F out of there, or there's going to be consequences. It was this. So Bill left, and then slowly he came back, and he ended up actually living with Dad. Then it came down to, I mean, Dad was bitching every time we got together. He was bitching about this guy and how he was taking his money, taking his car, but Dad was letting him. So it was shortly after my awakening, I went to the trailer. And, well, maybe not shortly after. I was in my 40s at that point. Anyway, so I took, well, I made the mistake of I was on the phone with my sister, and I told her what I was planning to go do. I was planning to go to see Bill at the trailer and find out, just talk to him. Just talk to him. Not going in with blazing guns and just talk to him. This guy literally is my size, little guy. She went into panic. Do not go there. You don't know what he could kill you. I'm like, what? Kill me? What? I'm having a conversation with the guy. What? So I knew that she was going to call Peter, and it was going to be more shit coming at me. So I didn't, and that's exactly what happened. So I didn't answer the call. Oh, wait. Yes, I did. Yes, I did answer Peter. And I said, because he's the one who insisted I take the boys with me. They were 15 at the time. Anyway, that was Taylor and his best friend, Chad. So we went there, and did the kids come in? Yeah, they came in. And Bill was in the back bedroom, or Andrew's in my old bedroom. And he came out, and I looked at him and I said, Bill, do you love my dad? And he goes, yes, I do. And I could feel the genuineness of his answer. I said, okay, well, if you do, then you can understand that as a daughter who has been told that Scarponi is going to kick him out if you stay here, if he finds out you're living here, it's not he's going to lose this. And you know that he's lost everything else basically in his life, except his car in this place. So, and I don't remember. I said, "You're not a bad person. I am not saying you're a bad person." I said, "He's made it easy for you. The money's there, the car's there, here, this house is here, the trailer's here. He's made it easy for you. So why wouldn't you?" I totally get it. There was an understanding of him. There was no judgment whatsoever. And guess what? He left and never came back. And he ended up giving me his bread maker and certain things he left on the table for me. Isn't that a powerful message? When you come at some seemingly issue, from love instead of fear and anger, because fear is underneath anger, and then there's sadness. So it's levels of energy, actually. And when you come from love, completely different. So, listening to this autistic thing and how they're communicating, the autistic kids go to what's called the hill. They go in their imaginations to this place called the hill and meet telepathically. And every single person that has died and come back says that when they were talking after they dropped the body, it was telepathic. There was no, because there's no body. There's no body there. After this body drops, it's just the pure essence that goes right back. The ocean, the wave goes back into the ocean. We are waves that never left the ocean. And so yesterday, Lynn says to me, "So you think," because, okay, so we sold the van and the trust thing, bringing it all back, guys, I am. The trust thing, the guy spent all Friday without getting through. He did not get it registered, and he was a shit pissed, just like Peter would be, because that shouldn't be the way it is. Arguing with what is. So Peter got all the paperwork, because Peter came home from work, did what he thought he could do to get it rectified Friday, but that didn't work. So they met at the early yesterday morning to get this done together. Peter with the paperwork, everything was covered, and it was 10:30 or so, and he still wasn't home. And he was texting me saying, "Nothing's moving here. I can't believe it," whatever. So I was talking with Lynn, saying, "Oh my God, he's going to come in this door so pissed off at the hours he." And I had told him that Lynn had been there recently, and it took her 5 hours because she didn't have an appointment. It's a lot of people in Florida. So she goes, I said, "You know what? I'm going to imagine him coming in," because I was convinced he was going to be ruined for the day, so pissed off. So she goes, "You think that by you saying he's going to be coming in smiling, you have an effect on that?" And I said, "I don't know, but I'm going to find out." So I sat in the chair. I breathed deep, and I imagined him coming in and me saying, "Hi, how'd it go?" And him responding with how it went, and it wasn't bad. And she goes, "Okay, then I need a report back." Is what she said. "I need a report back on this." Well, guess what? He came in, and I said, "Hi, how'd it go?" And he said, "Fine, we're fine." And he was okay. I had to ask if he was on an edible because he was doing weird shit. dancing, dancing. Not immediately, but as the morning went on, he was very light in his body, which is not normal for him because he hates being in Florida. And all the hatred is just weighing him down. Instead of, he loved it here when we used to come visit. And he says just now that he has a job, he doesn't love it anymore. You can still love it. You don't have to hate anything. Because I mean, he just saw yesterday a huge, he said the fish came out like a freaking dolphin right here. It was so big. And I saw otters, two otters. I have videos. Maybe I should post them. I have videos of two otters that were playing right in front of me. And I look at them. It was so cute. Anyway, the iguanas, the alligators, the birds, the long necked white bird, long necked, ah, just osprey diving for their fish. How can you not love it? Anyway, I hope. Oh, a day a forklift. Okay, hi Karen. A day a forklift went down the side of my truck when I was trying to avoid a head-on collision. I was breathing rapidly. The first thing out of my mouth was, "Oh my fucking god, what now?" And then it dawned on me, hey, that was the side that was already damaged when I bought the truck. Yes, you get it all fixed. When you, okay, you guys, I'm challenging you for this week to play with it. Play with your life. And if it doesn't, you know, go the way you, don't blame yourself. That's play too. Because that's the mind saying, oh, see, she's not, it's not, that's all ego. Anytime there's a, that's ego. That's not you. So, okay, I'll tell you another thing. We had an assessment here last year for $7,500 because of Ian. Two of the buildings lost their roofs. We had no problem on our building, but the people who were supposedly in charge made decisions, replaced not only their roofs, their ACs, which is not on. We're not. The association is not supposed to buy ACs, but that ended up being part of it. So that caused a rift between us and them, which I wasn't part of. I said, something's going to work out because everybody's like, oh my God, we're going to have an assessment. We're going to have it. Well, yeah, we had an assessment of $7,900. We did not have $7,500. And I'm not shitting you when I say this. I am telling you the God's honest truth. My aunt died in April. The assessment came in August. But we knew it was coming. They said it was coming. A check came in to my mail box for 7500.00 the same day the assessment came in for 7500.00. How can that shit be made up? I just keep saying, you can't make this shit up when you are open to life and not resisting it. Synchronicities. Well, actually, it seems we say it's synchronicities because that the mind has to think that, but that's how life really is. What you need shows up. I mean, there really isn't any need. That's coming from the little me too, thinks it needs. We don't need anything. That's all coming from the mind. And this is a stretch too. But there's something inside of you that knows that I'm telling the truth. You feel it, who you really are, just like those autistic kids that are getting together and having meetings on the hill, they call it, when none of them talk. They are communicating with their caretakers. So I cannot tell you how enlightening this series of videos is. It has made my mind open even more than it already was. Okay. Good morning, Margie. You're here between moving cars or snow. Yeah, I get it. Michelle. Michelle. Oh my God, your post this morning. Yes, play with life. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Play. Play. Don't fight it. I want it, Michelle. I'm going to go to Michelle's because, um, so Michelle, posted this morning, um, every day, where attention goes, energy flows. Is your attention mostly on fear of the future or future thoughts? Or is it on love and accepting and knowing that God, life, love knows what it's doing? It knows what it's doing. You don't. The you that you think you are doesn't know shit. Okay, every day I see posts about the world's struggles, violence, pain, division. If you're watching the news, you know what that is. Division, fighting. Watch that news. Actually, because I haven't watched the news in 30 years, when I walk into a house that has it on, I feel the frequency of it. It's low. It's a low vibration. I feel it in my body. It does not feel good at all. Just like COVID. It wasn't a reality for Peter and I because we don't watch the news. We were in Florida. We didn't have to wear the mask. We went across country in 2020 with our granddaughter. Yeah, we couldn't go to certain places, but apparently we weren't meant to go to those places. We didn't have to wear masks. We were outside. Oh my God. Anyway, the news. The news is sensationalizing pain in the others. That's only in this dream. And you don't need to do a damn thing about it. You can if you want. But if you don't want, the way you're going to connect with these apparent suffering people is by keeping that love present. Keeping love. Everybody who's died and come back felt the love and the presence of the prayers that their people were saying, their close ones were saying. They felt it. It helped them come back. If they weren't supposed to come back, they wouldn't have come back. Anyway, um, some might call it negativity, but I see people trying to wake others up. But right, because the more negativity you hold within this body, the more uh, awful your life goes. The more negative your life goes, because that's what you're looking for. That's what the mind is looking for. It's it's your energy is low. Um, some get stuck in the brokenness, while others focus on the opportunity to rebuild or the love that you are. They feel it. If you hate Donald Trump so much and he's keeping that a cage around your heart, which is exactly my mother on her deathbed, because I was telling her for years, because they keep bringing him up in the news apparently, and every time she saw him, she would see red. It would totally, and she was already miserable in her mind anyway, felt not good enough, unworthy, all that shit. So I told her, shut it off. Don't look at him. 2 days before she dies, she knows it's the end of her life. She's waiting to have the plug pulled. She says, I'm not, I'm not I'm not listening to that anymore. I'm shutting it off. What? Don't let it be on your deathbed. Don't let it. You can feel love within right now if you don't entertain any thoughts. The world's challenges are real. Well, they seem real when you're identified with this body and mind. But we have a choice: feed fear or fuel love. When we focus only on what's wrong, quote unquote wrong, it's not wrong. Nothing is wrong. Not one thing is wrong. Your ego, you're who you think you are, does not want to hear that because it wants to keep everybody in the you did this, you're doing this, it's you. The thing is, three fingers are pointing back here. Whenever you're judging it as wrong, somebody's done wrong. Your three fingers are pointing back. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. It's a dream. Okay, we have a choice. Okay, when we focus only on what's wrong, we vibrate with that frequency of despair and fear of the future and those poor people. Feel that. Nobody's suffering. Nobody is truly suffering because we aren't these bodies. We are not these bodies. When you believe you're a body, everybody there's suffering bodies out there, and yours is number one. It's coming from yours. When we focus on what's wrong, or we vibrate at the frequency of despair. But when we see the cracks and ask, "How can I help heal this?" we rise to a higher frequency of hope, solutions, and transformation. That's it. Transformation. Do you know that these autistic kids, the powers that be, are trying to keep it hidden? I don't even know if those transcripts, those YouTube videos will be on there for a length of time. It's been a month, I think, already, but because they are trying to shut down. I mean, they've euthanized people who are autistic. They've killed them. They said euthanize them, the thing, but it's freaking killed them. I mean, but they know they're not those bodies. You're not killing anything. Okay, acknowledging pain isn't weakness, but staying stuck in it is. But let's be the ones who see opportunity where others see defeat. Let's extend hands instead of pointing fingers. What are you focusing on today? The cracks or the light shining through them? Oh, the world needs your light. Every single one of you is light. We are all light beings. And that light is being dimmed by every belief you have about yourself. It's not true. All right, I'm going to check and see. I think that's it. I don't have any more comments. Okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Can you imagine? Somebody else sent me a video. It was about, actually, you know what? I should put that on here. Can you imagine going through life like this? You are, say you're the monkey. Look at that cobra. Look at the monkey. This is how we can go through life. And the ego would say, well, that's naive. There's something that, oh, he could die. Do you think he's worried about dying? That's the number one fear. That's why COVID could take hold. That's people who watch the news. The only reason COVID could be a thing is because people are afraid of dying. My mother was not afraid of dying. She looked forward to it. She knew. it wasn't the end. She knew she was going back to who she truly is. When she said, I lived Gloria's life, not mine, her name was Gloria. She said that to me. This freaking monkey puts it around his neck. He's not bothered one bit. Imagine going through life like that. No fear. And the bottom line to fear is I'm going to die. That's it. I love this video. He's throwing it over his shoulder. He's playing with it like so cool. What a metaphor for life. What a metaphor for this whole video, right? Picture yourself being that. Okay, so somebody said to me something. It was a beautiful thing we were talking about, and I said, I can't even imagine. And then I went, oh, well, if I can't imagine it, then it's not going to be. How about we start imagining it? It's all our imagination anyway. How about we collectively start imagining? We are powerful beyond measure, and we don't know it. We're afraid of it. Our minds are afraid of it. That's blasphemy. You can't. Imagine. The only way it's going to become reality is if we imagine it. And after listening, if you do listen to those tapes, let me know what it felt like for you. I could feel my mind and heart just expanding, like the energy was coursing through. Oh my God, it was amazing. Is that it? Is that it? I don't see any more comments. Oh, going skydiving? News is over glorified bullshit. I haven't watched the news in years as well. It makes me feel heavy mind. Exactly. And what's heavy in your mind, Karen, is heavy in your body because we store that shit. This is what's happening. Our minds believe that we are this person and we are suffering because the world is against us. We got to fight the minute we wake up because when we're dreaming, when we're asleep, you go from Peter's even flown in his dreams. I want to fly in my dream. He says it's we went to see the movie After Death made by Angel Studios, the ones that made The Chosen. And there was a time in that movie where it felt like you lift off. The way it was, something was on it that just made us go, oh, wow. And he said, that's what it feels like in my dreams when I'm flying in my dream. The dream doesn't have the me. You aren't in the dream. You wake up and say, I dreamt, blah, blah, blah. You claim it, but that's not. There's scene to scene. You're jumping in and out. There's nothing makes sense. Literally nothing makes sense here, but to the mind it does because it's a conditioned mind. We all think the same. But that's changing because I'm not the only one talking like this. There's a lot of people. When I think about Muji, when I first started listening, when YouTube first came around after my awakening, I didn't know what the hell happened. Honestly, it was full of magic. Every day was magic. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and make cards to people, the gratitude. Peter's boss, I was so grateful for everything. Anyway, every single thing felt like magic. That's what's here. It's magic, but we don't look at it. We're looking at it through a lens of the me instead of the lens of spirit. After seeing Dad in that bed, seeing him there, the body alive, and then the energy gone from it when I came back, it was obvious to me that body was not him. There was no more life in that body. We are that life, but we identify with this little me, this thought made me. God, I want to make a reel out of that. I have options to make reels from this after, and I don't. I'm okay. There's a thought. I am tech illiterate, so I can't do it. We limit ourselves by these thoughts. What if, after this is over, I find the perfect real? I'm seeing the thoughts coming in saying, yeah, 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 yeah. That's how incessant our minds are. But who you really are knows that this is the truth. That's the one I'm talking to. Well, I'm talking to the ego, but it's being felt through who we really are. Because it isn't identified with this body and mind. It's not. It doesn't give a shit what's going on here. It knows that nothing's happening. It knows that this is just a dream of separation that never really happened. Once the body is gone, the world that you see is gone too. There's only a world because you believe it's a world. It's a thought. The baby does not have a world. There is no world for that baby. You can't argue with it. Your mind wants to argue and fight. You're full of shit. But who you really are knows it's not. A new comment. Oh, hi, Justin. Good morning, Adam and Connie. Oh, sweetheart, you are the best. I love you guys for being here. I love all of you for being entertaining this fucked up thought. Because it is. To the mind, this is like, what? But just question it. Just question your beliefs. That's it. Huh, the baby doesn't. Watch a baby. It's just being moved. Watch a dog. Watch. Oh my God. Adam Connie. Oh my God, I can't remember the. I can see your dog, but the name is not coming. You guys, Connie, Adam, one of you, post. I want to get his name. God damn. I know his name. No, it's not Alex. Something with an X. Max! Max! I said something with an X. I knew it was an X. Yes, watch him. He's not. There's. He's just being moved by life, just like we are. But it's only our minds that come in between and say, no, it shouldn't be that way. I don't I don't like the heat. I don't like the cold. I don't like the snow. I don't like whatever. It's perfect for your awakening. Everything that you fight is for you to wake up to the reality that's really going on here. Okay. Oh my God, skydiving, Karen. You have to let me know how that went. That scares me. Oh shit! I got another. Let's see it. Anyway, all right. I think I'm done. God, it's getting deeper and deeper, guys. I'm so glad you're with me because your world, the you that you think you are, your world will change dramatically just because you're content. Your body is going to be at ease. It's a beautiful thing. And I appreciate you so much. Whoever watches this after, all hundreds of you, thank you. I thank you for holding this message, for just being a little bit willing and open to maybe it could be. I love you. I honor the love that you are. That's what namaste is. No mistakes. Byron Katie taught us that years ago. No mistakes. No, that's what she thought people were saying when they were saying namaste to her. No mistakes. But to come back to that love that you are, I honor the love that's in you because it's me. And if you're having a hard time and just it literally takes minutes of a conversation to get you back. If you need support, I'm here. I'm here. I want to help you. It's so easy. One of my girlfriends, her grandfather was dying, and I was like, "Yay, good, awesome!" And she was so heavy with, "I'm gonna miss it. I can't. Why he's dying?" And I kept the vibration. I was like, "Oh my God! Well, don't you deprive him from the best thing that's gonna happen to him? What? Let him go and enjoy." And she thanked me the next day. She goes, "Thank you for showing me that I was believing my thoughts." There's something, oh, it was beautiful the way she said it. For not entertaining the heaviness, not entertaining it. I can't entertain it. Even with my own parents and then my aunt. Well, dad died. It'll be 2 years. Next week, guys. I don't think I'm going to the Bahamas now. Jeannie is taking me to the Bahamas. So, and I'm leaving Monday and coming back on Sunday, and I have no idea the flights. I have no idea what. I've not seen an itinerary. I'm just a bystander. I'm just going to spread the light along the beaches wherever we go, just like I do wherever I go. And you are too. You are spreading it. If you're listening to this message, that light, you're recognizing it. You couldn't entertain this for an hour if you weren't recognizing part of the light that's you. And it's just by being you. You don't have to say a thing. You are spreading it. That's how this world is going to change. If we stay in that high vibration of love, turn it off. Turn off the news. You can come back to it at some point and see how it feels in your body, because when you're away from it for a while, you don't have that low vibration. You're coming back to it, you feel it. You're not gonna wanna. Anyway, I love you and thank you for entertaining this message with me. It's big. We don't even know yet how big this is. I'll post that underneath about the autistic kids. Bye. Watch that instead of the news. Watch your elevation go. Watch the body's elevation. Anyway, later. I don't know when, but I'll post it on my timeline.